What's going on, crypto miners? I hope everybody's doing well out there. So if you're a home crypto miner, you know things aren't the greatest right now. It's looking kind of grim. So I just figured I'd tell you guys what I'm up to. Maybe provide you with a little bit of hopium. All is not lost, and there's actually a lot to still be excited about. So I figured I'd just share with you what I'm up to over here on AlphaFarm. I've shut down some gear. And I got some other things cooking. I realized it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since I did a video. I was just so busy getting the AlphaPool up and launched, getting the AlphaPool Quai mining going and live, and it's been going pretty good. So I just want to tell you guys what I'm up to, and hopefully, make you realize that, it's not over. Crypto mining is not dead. All is not lost. To be fair, if you're a home crypto miner like me, my electricity rate has just been climbing and climbing. 5 years ago, when I first started GPU mining, I had 6 cents a kilowatt hour for the first like 3 years, which was great. I do not have that anymore. I was doing like 10 cents. I had 8 cents for the last like year to 2 years, and then the last like 6 months or so, I was working at 10 cents. And then the last couple months, it's been creeping up to like 13 cents. And so, you guys know how to use hashrate.no. And mining profitability at 13 cents, as the markets are kind of contracting or going down, whatever you want to say. I'm not a technical analyst here, but it's just not profitable at 13 cents. And at some point, mining at a loss is just like, it does become irrational and very inefficient, because you could just take the money that you're spending on electricity and purchase the coin that you want to hold long term. But in my area, at least, there's only so much you can do. I mean, Uncle Sam owns the electric grid. I have no choice really about what company I'm going to select to get my electricity from. The prices keeps creeping up, and I'm not one to roll over and die, and I like to do things myself. And so about a year ago, I started learning solar, and so I have hooked up my shed. I got 8 panels on the roof there and a little array on the bottom, total of like 12 panels. And so ultimately, I want to take matters into my own hands a little bit rather than just be like totally strapped. And I want to use sunlight and solar to bring down my electrical cost. And, even if I can most efficiently use the electric I do have that I generate with solar, with AI work or rentals or whatever it is to like create revenue, ultimately, why would I want to like sit there in fiat currency with that revenue? And so I think what I'd like to show you guys is what I've been up to lately. Instead of just sitting back and watching my electric rate creep up, well, I'm going to build out solar. And so I'm hoping to kind of take you guys along with me as I do this and teach you and show you how easy it is to kind of set up solar and what you can do with your the electricity that you do generate to most efficiently kind of like triage your way into the coins that you want to hold long term, right? Because I certainly don't want to be sitting there in fiat currency whose goal is to inflate by 2% every year. And that they haven't gotten it down to 2%. That is not what inflation really feels like, right? Just go to the grocery store and try and buy eggs. You're at like $8 a dozen, right? And so here I have chickens, they're my lady wife's chickens. However, I eat the eggs from those chickens, so we're not buying $15 eggs from the grocery store. So um, I'm going to show you guys what I've been up to on the farm here, and hopefully you guys can kind of learn some of this and do it yourself as well. Alright guys, so what you saw in the opening of the video was the rest of my solar panels that are in my garage. I actually have a total of 25 400 watt panels. And I currently have 12 of them set up right now, which in theory, those 12 400 watt panels will be doing 4,800 watts, you know, or 4.8 kilowatts. That's the calculation that's going on right here. But unfortunately, I don't have them set up kind of perfectly on a south-facing roof. And actually, some of the 12, 4 of the 12 are kind of ground-mounted, and you know, they get a little bit of shade, so it's not working out perfectly. So I got a lot of work to do. But what I want to explain to you guys is that with these 25 400 watt panels, the calculation that is happening here is that I am going to be able to produce around 10,000, theoretically 10,000 watts, or 10 kilowatts of energy. Now, the sun is not up every hour of every day, especially for me. I'm in the Northeast, so I actually want realistic calculations, right? So in the summertime, I have 4 seasons. So in the summertime, I'm looking at maybe, you know, like 8 hours of sunlight, as opposed to in the winter or the fall, you know, it's going to be 4 hours of sunlight. And so I looked it up, the average amount of, you know, over the course of the year, the average amount of sunlight hours I'm going to get is about 6. So at this 10 kilowatts or 10,000 watts for 6 hours of average sunlight, if I have all these deployed, I'm going to be able to hopefully clock 60 kilowatts per day, right? Kilowatts, kilowatt hours, kilowatts, yeah. Which for me, I've actually, so this 220 kilowatt hours a day that I'm using, I have brought down significantly the amount of energy I was using. I've shut down all of my ASICs, except for I still have my L9 running, which is profitable, and I still have my AlphaPex DG1 running, actually, which is profitable, and some GPUs are on. But I was doing like 650 kilowatt hours per day. So I brought this down substantially because my electric rate has been creeping up, as I said earlier. So it's actually 12. It's actually 0.127, so 12.7 cents, if you will. But you know, we're going to round it up to 13. So if I am able to average, you know, 60 kilowatts per day, that would be 27% of my current, you know, approximate usage of 220 kilowatt hours per day. So if you're thinking about deploying solar, these are the calculations that you're going to need to be doing, right? This is how you're going to figure out how much you're actually saving. So if I can generate this amount of kilowatts per day, I would be saving $7.80, right? That's $7.80 that I will not be spending on energy because I'm getting it from the sun per day, which equates to $234 per month. That's actually about the amount a normal person spends on electric, right? Or $2,847 per year. And so I, unfortunately, am not a normal person, and I use way more electricity than normal people do. So really, I could stop right there and tell you guys that, you know, this spring, my goal is to just take you guys along with me and show you how to, you know, deploy solar, which is like useful in and of itself, right? And just turn off everything I own and just have no electric bill, right? That I could literally do that if I wanted to. However, that's not what we do here. We're gonna make the next step, right? Why would I want to just not spend that money on electricity when I could just take that amount of energy I am getting for free from the sun and leverage it and make money off of that free energy? Now, caveat here, I should say that I broke even, or I think I actually even slightly got paid to get my hands on the 25 solar panels that I purchased. Now, if you're going to expend money on solar, right? This amount that this is how you ROI your solar equipment. You calculate the amount that you're saving or not spending, right? And that is, you know, how you pay down or ROI your solar equipment that you purchased. But as people who crypto mine, we could take the energy and just double. We can leverage it and make money off of the energy we're saving and ROI our solar equipment even faster. So I purchased the solar panels, and the deal was that I got a whole bunch of microinverters and a combiner box and some other crap that I didn't want anything to do with, because I knew what I was going to do with it. And so I hawked all that on eBay, and I ended up making I think it was less than $100, but it was more than zero. And I ended up having free solar panels. Now I've spent about $7,000 on a hybrid inverter, on all the auxiliary parts, and then batteries. Batteries are really expensive. So anyway, I want to ROI my solar equipment as fast as possible. And so not only am I going to save money on the electric, I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to use that energy that I'm getting for free from the sun, and I'm going to do the most efficient revenue generating activity that I can. Right? Because that's going to enable me to ROI my solar equipment faster, and hopefully then be in profit land. So let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here, right? So I actually have running right now 460 megahash of GPUs on Quai, doing just about 2.5 kilowatts, right? And so if I am able to generate my 10 kilowatts, get my 10 kilowatts of solar deployed properly, and generate over a 24-hour period, right, with 6 hours of sunlight at that velocity, I would be able to create for free, right? Obviously the cost of equipment, but for free from the sun, 60 kilowatt hours, which is enough to run these rigs. Now that would get me about, at current network difficulty, 40 Quai per day off of sunlight, straight up sunlight, 40 Quai per day, or 280 per week, which at today's prices is $35 per week, or monthly at today's prices, which I think Quai right now is at like 11 or 12 cents. We'll check that real quick. Yeah, just about under 12 cents here, would get us $152 per month, or $1,854 per year. So we'd be saving that money on electricity and then using it to create an extra $152. Now, let's assume that Quai goes back to 20 cents, which, off of launch, it ran up to 36 cents was the all-time high. And so, things have been contracting quite a bit. So I don't think an expectation of 20 cents at some point is that unrealistic. However, not financial advice. At those prices, if we were to generate this coin for, free off of sunlight at 20 cents, that's $8 a day, or $240 per month, or just under $3,000 per year. Back to all-time high, we would be doing, just off of straight sunlight and GPUs with these 25 panels, $14 a day, $100 a week, $432 per month, or $5.2K annually, just for no reason, off of just sunlight, right? So that would right there, and that's if it went back to all-time high. If it goes over all-time high, that would just completely level my the amount of money I spent on solar equipment, in addition to getting the panels for free, right? Spent about $7,000 on the hybrid inverter, and some of the other equipment that I had to purchase with it. So that's not even to say if we go above all-time high. So yeah, those batteries for my solar system are expensive, but I want to get more, and the hybrid inverter wasn't free, so I want to ROI this equipment as fast as I can. And so for me, this is the part where it gets pretty neat and real juicy. But it's the last thing I want to show you guys, and it's a choice that you kind of got to make, right? With mining, you know that you are going to mine the coins every day the second you fire up your rig. Now, many of us know exactly what Salad is, or using Chlor AI, or using Vast AI for hosting your rigs out and letting them be rented, and then you get paid in fiat. Well, Chlor, you can get paid in crypto, but for Vast and Salad, you're just getting paid in fiat. And I mean, this is where it gets kind of juicy and a little interesting, right? Because I am using like a fraction of the electric. So again, you don't know if you're going to always be rented, right? The equipment that I have on Salad in particular, and I did a post about this the other day, it has been rented. I have three 4090s, a 4070 Super, and then a 3060 Ti, just to see how it's doing, and it's been going okay. This, check it out. This is the last 30 days in aggregate, so this is all of them. I think all of the 4090s were online by this day, and then I brought the other two online somewhere in here. So, we're going to keep track of it moving forward. But what's crazy about this is, okay, so over these 13 days, at first I wasn't sure exactly how much electric I was using, but I did go down and check over here the exact amount of electric that was consumed for the 4090s and the 3060 Ti, right? It's not perfect because I didn't have them all on there at the same amount of time, but approximately 286 kilowatt hours over the course of 13 days, which is 22 kilowatt hours per day, right? Generating slightly more in fiat currency than this mining operation. The catch is, you don't know if your gear is going to always be rented, right? Because it's kind of like an on-demand thing. However, this is like a third of the amount of electric that I'm using to just straight up mine, right? So I think in summary, like right now for trying to leverage the sun and free electric to most, to the smartest and most efficient way I can arbitrage into the asset that I want to hold for the long term, that I think, not financial advice, is going to appreciate, at least hopefully more than fiat. I think is going to appreciate and value the best, where I want to store my value, is going to currently be using AI work and then just buying the coin. Because look at this. If I am generating after electric, right, based on these numbers, I'm going to keep tracking it exactly now that I have everything up. I'm doing $5.53 per day. This is monetary output per day in fiat. This is profit, right? I did calculate. It is $5.53 profit per day, which is $165 per month, slightly more than today, just straight up mining it at today's prices. But again, using way less electricity. I could bring how many more 4090s on? This is only 5 GPUs doing this versus like what, 20, 25 at 22 GPUs I have online right now. So in a month, I could be doing if I do this, right, and then I just purchase the Quai with it at today's prices. If Quai goes to 20 cents, right, I would be doing $263 per month. And again, if Quai goes back up to where all-time high was, that's $474 per month off of just this 22 kilowatt hours per day, right? Or 5.7K over the course of the year if Quai were to get back to all-time highs or beyond, right? And we all know what happens when the only thing in markets that is inevitable is cycles, right? The bear will come and the bull will come. We know that. We don't know what's going to happen with individual stocks or coins, and I do not give financial advice. However, what I'm doing is I don't really find many of the things available to me at the a salad store very alluring, whatever, it's Steam and I game and there's all this cool stuff, but I would rather be mining. And if I'm going to generate this sunlight and I want to do the most efficient thing I can with it to create value, and then I'm going to store that value in a way that I think it's going to best appreciate, I'm going to put it in Quai. My long holds are Bitcoin, Quai, and Caspa. And so I'm trying to build a larger Quai bag because it's the newest one to me, and that's the one that I want to store my value in. And so this is what I'm up to. I'm deploying solar. I want to kind of take you guys along with me and show you how to do this. And then with the solar, I'm going to do, with my technology and the free energy, whatever is going to get me the most revenue with the least overhead. And then I'm not going to waste it by leaving it sitting there in fiat. I'm going to go put it in a store of value that I think is going to accrue over time, right? And so for me, now that's Quai. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. And if you want, just let me know in Discord or in the comments below. I can share this sheet out, but I'm going to continue to do updates. And hopefully I'll put out some more videos and show you guys how to deploy solar. And we're gonna see how it goes with Salad, right? If it stays like this with 4090s, check it out, 25 cents an hour. That's one of the 4090s right now. Doing let's see. Doing $6 a day, right? This one's doing 20 cents. This one's doing 15. It's crazy. This I know is the 4070, and this is probably the 3060 Ti. But it's still going, and I would encourage you guys to find new and interesting ways to kind of make some money. So good luck, have fun, and I'll talk to you guys in the Discord or on the Twitter X's there, the crypto Twitter X. All right, guys, have a good one.